Early in the game, Gunnar Stockton showed great poise, throwing deep downfield on this play, caught, and all the way down to about the 11-yard line. That possession ended in a field goal. Well, let's take another look. There he's sacked. Now let's go back and see what could have been done different in this play. Right here, you see Etienne goes left. It's caught up in traffic. He should have been over here, being an outlet, and that play would have been completely different. You can see the quarterback rolling. Etienne's running there. He should have been over here near the top. And why was he running in to do a chip block? It seems like a bad play call. It's hard to see what he was trying to do. And those are the kind of things we see with Mike Bobo and Georgia this entire season, is not taking advantage of opportunities. We just showed you a play where they covered almost 60 yards in one play, only got a field goal. This kind of play like this ended up a punt, and this is only the first half. This kind of thing continued throughout this game, and Georgia did not take advantage of any of its opportunities to try to score points in this football game. Question, was Georgia trying to win this game? Now let's pay a lot of attention to this number right here, the 46.5. That's the under. That means the total points scored in the game are less than that, and someone wins the bet on the under. 46.5 was the under. The game finished 23-10, which is 33 points. So they had a lot more points that could be scored in that game, and still the under would have been met. But this marks the 11th time this season that Georgia's offense failed to exceed the Vegas under. If nothing else, it's a massive measurement of underperforming. This Georgia team, as constructed, would have to score points to win. It did not have the lockdown defense it had in 21-22. It doesn't have the depth it had in 21 and 22. If they expected to win playoff games like this against Notre Dame, their offense would have to click. And it simply didn't. So our quest in this video, we're trying to find out and take a look at the play calling to see what made Georgia's offense suddenly ineffective in this game. Now comes one of the most critical points in the game. Kirby Smart, with 38 seconds left in the half, tries to maybe get some points. Why not? It's 30 whole seconds. But it turned out to be a disaster as the ball was fumbled and Notre Dame scored a touchdown, and they went ahead 13-3 at the half. Now that's just 10 points. It was a devastating psychological blow to this team. Did Kirby make a mistake? Should he have maybe just walked it in at halftime down 6-3 when the offense simply, obviously, has had another first half breakdown? We'll never know. It did add to the momentum of the game. When you add to that Notre Dame scored a touchdown on the opening kickoff in the third quarter, and this game suddenly changed complexion dramatically. Now it's important to notice here, you saw the over-under at 46.5. 23 points puts Notre Dame in position that Georgia, if they win the game, they won't cover this under. 23 points, half the under, belongs to Notre Dame. So if Georgia's going to win the game, they'll have to have 24 points, which puts its point total at 47, which would bust the under. And Georgia didn't score any more. They had an entire quarter left to redeem themselves and come back. And we're going to pay attention to the play calling in this quarter to see if Georgia made a legitimate effort to try to win this game. So Georgia got the benefit of a first and goal from that penalty, the pass interference. Now they find themselves 4th and 5, and you see the play developing here. That's almost the exact same play that Mike Bobo called in the 2012 championship game against Alabama when he was on the goal line and needed to score and win. It looks like the same play, the go-to play that Mike Bobo, when he has to score, that's what he delivers as this play right here. Georgia ends up with no points from that possession. With 9:25 to play, the opportunities are slipping away. Certainly a critical misfire from the Georgia offense with a golden opportunity. No points. 23-10. Remember, if Georgia's going to catch that under, they can't score 24 points. This team is behaving just like a team that doesn't want to score. But we have some interesting insights as to why that became insurmountable. We'll discuss that in just a minute. Georgia misfired on multiple occasions throughout the fourth quarter. It took everything they had to score only 10 points in this football game. They scored on a big play early, they scored on another big play, and they made very few efforts to establish any big plays beyond those plays. Play calling in this game seemed to be designed to keep Georgia out of the end zone. The play calling was atrocious considering the game situations and considering the obvious ability that Georgia displayed throughout this game to make big plays. But once they got down 23-10, Georgia was finished for this evening. Did not make the playoffs or did not make the next round of the playoffs. The season was over, and we will never know if we got the best out of this Georgia team or not. When you're looking to point fingers and blame, there's plenty of blame to go around for Georgia losing this game. A lot of blame will have to go to the offensive line. The left tackle was beat on almost every snap. Left tackle seems to be a particular problem with Mike Bobo coach teams. Also, Stacy Sorrells with Mark Richt consistently had trouble filling the left tackle position. In this game, 4 of those sacks occurred, and every one of them was a direct result of poor left tackle play. The footwork was horrible. He cut the edge way too short, allowing the outside edge to come in a quick, easy sack, and a very preventable sack. So the offensive line will certainly have to be revamped, but the offensive play calling seems to be out of date. The scheme and execution is poor, and so what is really surprising is that here we are a month after this game, and Georgia hasn't actually revamped their offensive coaching staff much at all. So will changes even happen? It's pretty obvious that as constructed, this Georgia team is no longer an elite football program, and they should expect more of this kind of result than others in the future unless they get back in the coaching business. The NIL and the transfer portal has changed the ability to stack rosters. If you're going to win, the winning is going to be will come from great coaching as well as having great talent. And tonight, Georgia did not outcoach anybody. On the other hand, Notre Dame had excellent coaching. It was simply a factor. So, if we can learn anything from this game, it's that correct the mistakes, get the coaches back to elite status, and see what happens in this program. Otherwise, it's still doing quite well and has a great future. But this game here was certainly a disappointment to every Georgia fan, indeed.